Hi there, I wanted to do a tutorial on making a summer fairy lantern. It's one of those things I seen on Facebook, and they show you so many easy steps and you can make a lantern. So I wanted to try it and kind of put my own spin on it. So I will be using some High Hopes fairies. This gal here, this gal here, this gal here, and then some sentiments. So what I did was I went and I cut out, I stamped the fairies. I used the Memento ink. And then I cut the fairies out, and then I used a black Sharpie marker. And some of the areas I actually did cut off, so probably this little piece here, it looks like she has a horn on her head. Now that she's a silhouette, I'll just go and I'll round that off to give her a nicely, a nicer shape there than that horn. So I have that one here, and then I just cut up the wings to give it a little bit of dimension and then shape her, and then added a little base. So when it goes into the jar, I'll actually be able to just put some hot glue on the base and add her in here. So I've got that one there. I've got this one here, that silhouette, and then I have one other one, this one here. So those are the three that I have. I also cut some blades of grass, and then just a whole bunch of stars and butterflies. So I have all that ready to go. The little video that I watched said to use 2 coats of acrylic paint on your glass jar, and this is just an old pickle jar. I did that and it was too thick. I couldn't see the tea light inside the jar, so I washed everything out and I just put one fairly light coat in the jar, and it seems to be a lot better. I did a little test with one of the images and you can actually see it when it's lit up, so I think that's gonna work. And then the cap, I just added, punched 2 nails. The wire is an old coat hanger, and I just used a pair of heavy-duty snips. I think I actually probably placed these too close together, and they should probably be a little bit wider, but it's done now, so I'll have to work with what I have. And then I'm going to use the pliers just to press these down, and a piece of duct tape over top to hold it in place. So that's that. And for the fairies, they say to lean it up on the inside of the jar, and when I did my test, I just found that it didn't really stay in place that well, so I'll probably actually just use a little bit of glue, just a couple little dabs, just to hold it against the jar a little bit better. So we have that, and then for the stars and the butterflies, I'm actually going to use some matte medium, or if you have Mod Podge, or even a glue that dries clear, and then I'm going to place that around the inside of the jar. So I will come back in a bit and show you what I've got accomplished and how I made out. Hi there. Okay, I'm back again. I've glued everything into my jar, and I used the matte medium to adhere it to the sides of the jar, along with the stars and the butterflies. So I've got the blades of grass, and you can hardly see, but the fairies, butterflies, stars. So it is coming along. The inside doesn't look too pretty, but that's not the part that will be displayed. I'll also be putting some moss at the bottom of the jar. I changed up my handle, something a little smaller, and then this I had a hard time actually bending back. I'll have to get my husband to do that tomorrow. So on the top of the cap, I plan on adding one of these sentiments, and I think the one that I'm going to use is Fairies Make a Garden Grow, to the outside of the jar. It also calls for some foil tape to be added to the jar to give it like a lantern look, and I have this in my stash for my stained glass, and it's sticky back foil tape, so I might try using that. I'm not too sure. And then I also have this heavy duty tea light, and it's kind of nice because it flickers when it's on, so that's the one I'll be using. I tried some smaller tea lights, they don't work as well, so you do need one of the larger versions. And that is about it for now, so I'll come back in a bit once I have the moss, and I'll show you the end result. Thanks for peeking. Hi there, just to finish off the tutorial on the fairy lantern. I basically have it complete now, and what I did was I added matte medium and glitter to the outside of the jar, just very unevenly here and there, just to give it a little bit of texture, and it didn't have that flat painted look. So I really like that idea. I decorated the cap with a bird and the deer and the sentiment, and then added a little fairy. It just seemed a little unfinished without something kind of sitting in the middle here, so I just colored her up with Copics and fussy cut her. So the plan is when I have the battery operated tea light on, I'll remove this. It's just a piece of wire twisted up, so I'll just remove it, and then I can enjoy the lantern. So I'll just show you the inside here. So I added some moss and the tea lights in there. So I'll be back in a second and I'll show you what it looks like on. Okay, and here's the end result. Okay, and here's what it looks like using a different colored battery operated light from the dollar store that has a green hue to it.